Today we will talk about transforming pressure into real success, how to leverage stress to your advantage. You've likely heard a lot about the dangers of stress and its negative impact on health, relationships, and performance. These risks are indeed real, but some recent research shows that workplace stress, when managed properly, can actually enhance productivity and performance. So, how can you turn stress into real success? How can you harness the pressure you once thought would overwhelm you and make it work in your favor? Expert opinions. As Justin Mankins, an expert in executive skills assessment says, there is no escape from stress. We live in a world of endless worry, change, and uncertainty, and you need to get used to it. This idea is echoed by Shawn, a positive psychology expert and founder of Good Think, who states, stress is an inevitable part of work and daily life, but its impact is not predetermined. Both Achor and Mankins agree that changing the way you handle stress can yield positive results. Achor adds, stress can be good or bad depending on how you deal with it. In fact, how you handle stress can follow 5 key principles to turn pressure into success. 1. Treat anxiety as a natural feeling. According to Mankins, when you hear people say that stress is unhealthy, it usually stems from the fact that they don't view it as a feeling. The strong reactions, such as physical tension and increased heart rate, are indicators of how much you care about what you are doing. Mankins notes that the amount of stress you experience is closely linked to the importance of the activity you're engaged in, saying, if you didn't care, you wouldn't feel that much stress. Viewing anxiety as an indicator rather than a sign of dysfunction or something to panic about allows you to address it more rationally. Remember, stress will eventually dissipate. Mankins says, emotions are naturally fleeting. They might seem like they'll last forever, but give any emotion just 5 minutes, and you'll find it dissipates. 2. Reframe your perspective on stress. Once you identify what the anxiety is, change your mindset. Research by Achor shows that your perspective on stress determines its effect on you. He says, our brains function better in a positive state compared to a negative, neutral, or stressed state. When you are negative or anxious, your brain switches to a fight or flight mode, which limits your ability to think clearly. Conversely, being positive and sufficiently engaged allows your brain to switch to a growth and expansion mode, which provides a wider range of options. It's up to you to choose the mindset you approach stress with. Achor advises, when people face stress, they can choose to see it as a challenge rather than a threat. This mental shift will turn stress into a motivating force rather than an obstacle. 3. Focus on what you can control. One of the most positive actions you can take when faced with anxiety or stress is to remember the aspects within your control and those beyond it. Many people waste a lot of time feeling negatively about things they can't change. In Achor's book, The Happiness Advantage, he describes an exercise called Island Experiment. Achor suggests creating a list of what stresses you out and dividing it into 2 islands, one for what you can control and one for what you can't. He advises ignoring the second island and taking one practical step regarding the first island. This approach helps you relieve stress and move forward towards achieving your goals. 4. Build a support network. It is comforting to know that there is someone you can turn to for help when needed. Mankins says, it is important to have someone you can tell all your worries to. Although you might hesitate to do this, it's good to know you have someone like that in your life. It's also crucial to build supportive relationships when you're not stressed. Mankins encourages creating an emotional reservoir that you can draw on when necessary. Surround yourself with people who don't complain and grumble about things they cannot change, advises Achor. 5. Develop your stress management skills. According to Mankins, the best way to handle stress comes with practice. He states, if your body isn't used to the stress you're facing, you'll be prone to panic and get trapped in a vicious cycle that you'll only break by training. Mankins often observes that younger people have a strong reaction to most things compared to older individuals. This is not just about hormones but also experience. Don't wait to practice these techniques until you're in a stressful situation. Instead, consider putting yourself in some pressure-filled scenarios without them being critical situations. Stress and fear are good because they mean you're gaining new experience. For example, if public speaking makes you anxious, consider participating in initiatives that involve speaking in front of others. The idea is to have stress-inducing experiences and test your ability to manage them. Important tips. Commit to the following. View stress as an indicator that you care about something, not as something that should cause panic. Focus on tasks, not on feelings. Cultivate relationships that provide support when you are under pressure. Avoid the following. Don't assume that the feeling of stress and anxiety will be continuous. Don't worry about things you cannot control. Avoid spending time with negative people. For more videos, please like and subscribe.